It's time to go home shopping, but you're trying to decide, do I go with a new build or a pre-existing home? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Rosemary Lewis, your educator agent with eXp Realty, and y'all, today we are going to talk about I want to give you some help in making the decision on whether or not you should go with a new construction home, either building or one that the builder already has ready, or a pre-existing home, meaning a home that a family has already lived in. Before we get into it, I want you to go ahead and click the subscribe button so that every time I post a video, you will be notified. Ready? Let's hop into it. Okay. So I hear this question often where buyers are just really trying to figure out, which route should I go? Should I choose a new construction home or should I go with a home that is already existing? So I'm just gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of food for thought, is what we'll call it, when you are making the decision on which way you should go, because there's really no right or wrong. It's really gonna come down to you as the buyer, what fits your personality best, okay? So I have shared with you all countless times that for the home that I'm living in, it was non-negotiable. My husband absolutely wanted to build. And I'm gonna tell you some of our thought process when we went into building the home that we're in right now, and why we went with this choice rather than going with a pre-existing home. So for us, we really just love the layouts. What we noticed in our price point in some of the homes that we were looking at previously, the layouts used to be a little, well, I'll just say right now, builders are making the layouts a little more functional. So we like an open floor plan. We went with a 1-story, and quite honestly, 10 years ago, they weren't building this style of home. So that's number one. Think about the aesthetics. Think about the functionality of the home for you. Can you find that in a pre-existing home, or do you need to build or go with a newer model in order to get that home? So I definitely would think about the functionality, layout, and where are you going to get that? Because there are a lot of character. This is a plus for pre-existing homes. A lot of times these new builds all kind of look alike. Even though they have different floor plans and different builders, the flow is very similar because that's what's in style now. So if you're looking for something that maybe has a little more character because you don't have the repetitiveness that we see sometimes now with newer builds, then you may want to look at a pre-existing home. Another thing that may draw you to a pre-existing home is the age of the neighborhood. I have worked with clients before that were in love with like mature trees, and they want more of an established community, and you definitely will eventually get that if you choose a new construction community, but not initially. So if that is a big factor for you, you know, if you want a big tree in your backyard, or you know, if you want a neighborhood that's already, you know, already has homes, already has that neighborly feeling, and that's been established, you might lean towards a pre-existing home. Now, here is another kind of flip. With new construction, one thing to consider is that if you are buying a home in a new construction community, then you live in a construction zone, okay? Now, again, it won't last forever, but you will probably have a few nails in your tires. You probably will have a little more field mice and rodents running around as they turn over the ground. I can't even talk today. As they turn over the ground to build the homes. And a lot of construction workers, so you may not have that neighborhood feeling right away. That personally didn't bother me, and one thing that I liked is we were one of the newer homes in our community. So as new neighbors started to come in, we're kind of like the OGs, you know, just welcoming everybody to the neighborhood and establishing that feeling. But I do know some people would prefer to come into a more established neighborhood. So just think about that. If you go with new construction, then you are going to live in a construction zone for a little bit of time. Something else to consider with new construction is that in a new construction home, the homes hasn't settled, right? Sometimes with pre-existing homes, if there are going to be issues like foundation or roof or things like that, because the home has been there a while, the home has had an opportunity to present the issues. And even the neighborhoods, you know, I know some neighborhoods here in Texas, sometimes we have foundation issues, and there are certain neighborhoods around the Metroplex that are known to have more shifting soil than other neighborhoods. And in a new construction community, you don't really know about that until a few years down the line. So if you go with something pre-existing, pretty much the home might do what it's gonna do. So, and when I say that, any issues that come up, major issues in terms of structurally, they would have already presented themselves, whereas with a new build, you don't really know what you're gonna get. But then here's the flip with the new build. With the new build, everything is new. All the systems are new. Your HVAC is new. Your plumbing is new. Your roofing is new. So the chances of you coming out of pocket initially to repair one of those systems is a little less than if you go with an older home. Now, all homes are man-made. I'm not saying that if you get a new build, you won't ever have any issues, because you will. And as a matter of fact, that's why the builders provide you a warranty, because sometimes things will present themselves. So you have a warranty from the builder, and there are different rules on that warranty just to kind of protect your investment. But initially when you're going in, everything is new. I know a lot of times, sometimes a pre-existing home can be a little bit of a money pit. You know, you go in and by the time you update it, by the time you change some of the things that you that might go out, like the major systems of the house, you feel like you could have gotten something newer. It just really depends on what your preference is, okay? All right, with a pre-existing home, another consideration is the homeowner may have made custom upgrades to the property that wouldn't be offered by a builder, or maybe they have just improved the property and you get to benefit. So if they put in a pool, if they put in an outdoor kitchen, if they put in some of these things that aren't offered on a new build, it may just provide you a little bit more value to go in that direction. Finally, what I would say when you are making this decision on whether or not to go, just go and see. I think that for many of my clients, when we go to homes, I can quickly tell where they're leaning, whether it be new build or pre-existing. I can also easily see if they are, even if they like a particular builder, because they will lean towards another style. But just be open, okay? Be open, and once you figure out what you like and don't like, cross it off the list. You don't have to run down that rabbit hole just because your mama likes old Victorian homes. If you don't, that is a-okay. But whatever feels like home is where you should be. I hope this video was helpful. If you are looking in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I would love the opportunity to sit down with you and just talk to you about your home buying process and to see how I could help you. And if you made it to the end of this video and you are not subscribed, what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell. That way you are notified every time I post a video.